And back then, I'm a little older, they used to bus us across town. I went to 7th Avenue and ultimately graduated from Irvington High School. Also, as he mentioned, I did my collegiate work at Montclair State University. And one thing I want to touch on before I forget is that Special Agent Kendrick, he mentioned that drug testing carries over into the private sector. I had an experience with that. As they mentioned also, I've been in sales and sales management for many, many years. And one of the people that were working for me, he had an accident with a company vehicle. Because in sales, they give you tools to work with, computers, cars, that sort of thing. And he had an accident with his car. So once you have an accident, it's automatic. You got to go in for drug testing. He came up positive with drug testing, and the drug testing for marijuana. He lost his job immediately. So what they're saying, there's a definite cost and effect. The cost is that he lost his job. The effect is that he can no longer take care of his family the way that they were accustomed to. So everything that the special agents are talking about is true. So let's get back into what I do. I know the ice cream part is a lot of fun, but where I got my start was in food sales, selling to restaurants, diners, that sort of thing. I didn't really understand what that meant, but when you go to, there's a McDonald's right down the street. What do you like at McDonald's?
Big Mac. Big Mac. Big Mac. I hate it.
Right. Now everything that you mentioned, like a Big Mac. What's on a Big Mac? There's bread, there's ketchup, there's onions, there's meat, there's lots of things. So what I'm trying to say is that there are companies out there that sell all of that stuff. And when you work for those companies, you need an education. So the most important thing is your education, and as the special agents said, to stay out of trouble. Now, this is a catalog. This is a catalog. The company I work for, we sell to bakeries right now. So I want to pass this around. I'll let you take a look at it. You can pass that. But about 11 years ago, my wife and I, we started an ice cream company. And do any of you know any people that started companies at all? You have any family members with a store? What kind of store? Anyone? Do you know anyone with a beauty salon? I know there's a lot of beauty salons. What kind of business did he start? Construction? Did he hire people to work? And what does he build? Houses, right? That's a very good business. What about you, young man? What's your name? Bashir? Nasir? Nasir. Sheer, not Sheer. Nasir. Oh, Nasir, like the rapper. Nasir. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
My dad's mom is a tailor. She's still doing it now. She does it for some companies. I don't really know.
Really? Now, a tailor, does anyone know where Hawthorne Avenue is?
With that deli?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What, Bragman's?
Oh, no.
Which
It's
one?
Hawthorne Deli. It's like a burgundy. It's burgundish.
Oh, on Fabian Place? It's up the hill?
That's what he's talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh my God.
Now that particular company, my parents, you said tailor. My mother was a tailor for many years. My father was a presser. They had a dry cleaners on Hawthorne and Osborne Terrace for about 35 years. Huh?
Up on and off.
It's the, no, I think the building right now, there is a school there, a nursery school.
Oh, wow.
It's right across from the church, the Zion Hill Baptist Church. That's your church? Yeah, yeah. Now Reverend Stanford was there many, many years ago, but now there's a young minister that's there now. But on Hawthorne Avenue, there was the dry cleaners, and Bragman's Deli is still there across from the Boys and Girls Club. And then Miss Smith, she ran the deli up on Fabian Place in Hawthorne. They had it many, many years ago. So there's a lot of history there. I was on Hawthorne Avenue at the Boys and Girls Club when Shaq came here. Because Shaquille O'Neal is from Newark. And he came up the hill in a limousine. It was hundreds of people out there. And Newark is just an amazing place.
You may say the plus 12.
Excuse me?
You may say the plus 12.
Oh, really?
He just remodeled it.
Oh, exactly right. What is that? Springfield and Bergen? Yeah. Right, right. Now Shaq has something to do with that. And who else? Queen Latifah? Yeah, she has something to do with that. But my point is, there's a lot of history that goes on in Newark, but when you travel around, people seem to bring up the negative parts of Newark. They always have, and the only thing that you can do is to be the best person that you are. And it starts with your education. Because if you're here today, there's someone here that cares about you. You have to buy into that and realize that you have to do your part. We want you to have fun, but also you got to do your work. Again, back to the ice cream parlor. I'm going to pass these around, and then I want you to take a look at some of the things that are on it. And then the best part, I think you're going to have lunch sometime. What time do you have lunch?
12:30.
Well, I bought each of you a small cup of ice cream.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so,
They got earned that.
yeah, well, that's right. That's a part of the deal.
Did you guys hear that?
I see all them eyes over there like, ew, Miss Ebony, we hate you. I know. I know. I can feel my face burning with it. Why got me always no face?
That's who we are. You like chocolate? We have chocolate. Okay, now, does everyone have one of the cards?
Oh, that's good.
You don't? Do we have some extras for you?
Like Action Jack. I did. I just passed about.
Oh, the green light. This is mixed chocolate.
Buddy.
Candy apple. We don't have caramel apple, it's just candy apple. But the biggest thing,
Turn around here.
what do you think it took to start this? What did we do? Education was a big part. Desire was, I tell you, my wife and I, we both come from parents that had businesses. And even though we worked, we always had that desire and the dream to start a business. And it was one of those things where the opportunity presented itself. Yeah, we finally did it. What's your name? Dan, you have some very interesting questions. What is that?
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm old. I can't hear. Nathaniel. What grade are you in? Fifth. And what school do you go to? Really? I I just heard that in Newark, you don't necessarily have to go to the schools where you live anymore.
Yes, you do, that's a lot.
Really?
No,
You still do?
In North Stars, you have to have an address in North, trust me.
No, you have to have an address in Newark, but before, if you lived on South 20th or 19th, you had to go to Madison.
You just
Yeah.
got to stay together.
no, in North Stars, when you go to North
Ice
Stars,
cream is cold. That's yours. I know all got those.
no.
Right.
I am. See, it's Anthony. It's Anthony. See, it's Anthony.
Okay, now, the next thing, excuse me. Now, the next thing you have to do is that when you own your own business, do you think you work harder or you work less than when you work for a company? You work harder. There's a lot more hours involved in it, but it can be so much more rewarding. What did you say? And fun, absolutely. Because you get to create, you get to do things that you desire to do, rather than to be told everything you have to do. I do work with my wife, but she runs the store, pretty much. I have to, my job is to go in there, go in and clean, get the supply, get the, yeah. When you own your business, you have to be the janitor, you have to be the carpenter, you have to do all the little things that you just don't make enough money to pay somebody to do. But it can be so rewarding. But my wife does this, she handles the customers. Like my parents, when they had the dry cleaners, my mother did the tailoring, he did the pressing, he did all of that work. Now, when you guys come to camp every day, what time do you get here?
8:30.
What's the first thing that you do?
Eat breakfast and
You eat breakfast?
Now,
The point I'm making is that when you come to school, there are people that they get everything into place. They prepare everything for you so that you can go through your day and everything is prepared. Just as I mentioned, there's lunch. What time is lunch served?
12:30.
12:30. There are people preparing that now, or they prepared it earlier. So there's a lot of prep work. So these people working hard is a part of everything that you do, whether it's school, whether it's camp, anything that you do. Now, I've talked a little bit about the work that I do. I've talked a little bit about the store and how we run it. Do any of you have any questions about any of it? Please do. Our days, and that's a very good question, because ice cream is primarily sold when? In the summertime, when it's warm. So we have to be open 7 days a week in the summertime. We are closed in the wintertime. Yes. It belongs to my wife and myself. Excuse me? Well, see, the thing is, you can make a shop, or you can buy an existing shop. You can make it, excuse me, you can make it and build it, or you can buy someone else's shop. Who made it? Oh, sure, absolutely. That's building from scratch. Yeah. And you? No, we bought it. It was an existing ice cream shop, and we bought it from the old owners, and we made it our own. But that's very interesting also, because just 1 minute, when you buy something like that, there's two things that you need. You need a lawyer and you need an accountant. Because when you're buying something and you're spending lots of money for it, you have to make sure that it's a legal business and it belongs to those people. So there's a legality and structure that goes along with that. You young lady? Somebody's birthday is what?
It was in the winter time.
Was in the winter time. They have stores that they can go to and buy birthday cake, because we're closed December, January, February.
Wait, so you all
If your birthday is in December, well, see, you have to let us know ahead of time, and we'll have a special cake. Because February is still very cold. No, we're open in September. And we're, and our store is near a school. So a lot of kids come in after school. No, we stay in the same building. Okay. Any other questions? Any questions back there? No? Huh? Yes. December what? 14? Very nice. Just ice cream. I don't work with the DEA. These are very serious people right here. You gotta keep it. You gotta be a good guy. Keep them away from it. But I was telling them that I don't know if you heard that I had a situation where a guy was out. Yeah, lost his job. Yeah. So what they're telling you is right. Yes, young lady. Salesperson or ice cream? Well, things that I like to do. I like to, just like your uncle, I like to build. That's part, grandfather, sorry, likes to build. And I like tools. And I discovered my love of working with tools and fooling around with things like that from the Newark school system. Because back then, Newark used to have shop. They used to have shop, and they used to have home economics. Shop was where you learned how to cut wood and make different things. Workshop, yeah. Do they still have that in any school?
Probably when they get to high school now.
When they get to high school?
we got 4.
Yeah, because
There's a lot they don't have at school.
I know, and I tell you, I developed my sincere love for it back in grammar school and middle school, because it was one of those favorite classes that it would just break up the day. You could go there, and I still have things.
You actually had skills.
Yeah, I made a box that I still have to this day. The best thing I made was that box. I spent a lot of time on it. It was made out of it's made out of mahogany wood, which is a very hard wood. I use sandpaper. I cut it with my hands with the hand saw, and I chiseled it out with certain chisels. I learned a lot on that project, and at the end of the project, I just got engulfed in it, and at the end of it, I won an award for it, but I never knew I was working towards an award or anything. And but it was the Newark school system, woodworking class that started all of that. And then once my mother discovered that I liked that sort of thing, I started to have to do everything around the house. When stuff broke down, I had to work. So, more like a builder. Engineers are very smart people.
My boys lazy.
If you like engineering and you like math, don't give that up. That's very interesting stuff. You like math? Yeah. What do you want to do?
Oh, I want to be an accountant.
You want to be a basketball player? But what do you want to do after the basketball playing days are over?
Everybody calm down.
Yeah. Now he just said he wants to make games and computers. That's one of the biggest fields growing right now that you could ever get into. And the people that do that, if money is important to you, make a lot of money. And they have fun. But it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. You have a question? No? I get paid bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks. All right. What do you do? professional football player? You play football, right? Well, the thing is, you have to go to college to do it. And right now, they're having people, they have to get good grades to stay. Okay? Yes. Cupcake Wars? Yeah. Now the cupcake, what I do professionally, like selling bakery ingredients, we sell to people like that. That the Cupcake Wars, Carlos Bakery, the Cake Boss. We sell to them. They're right in Jersey. Yeah, they're right in Jersey City, Hoboken, New Jersey. So that's very interesting stuff. But are there any other questions from anyone?
Hold on, I got a question. Do us councils got ice cream?
Excuse me?
Do us councils have ice cream?
Well, the thing is,
We don't like you now.
I got the count for Special Agent Green,
We don't like you now.
and he's responsible for the count. How many
So
people
when
are
I
here?
call ice cream, sweet chocolate,
I got the count. I got the count. I got the count on Mr. Dixon. So
Just take some little kiss ice cream.
The number that I brought is 30 because I
No,
told
I'm only playing with you.
no, but I'm serious because you might be serious.
But I'm gonna be serious when I call them.
Absolutely. We'd love for you to come on down and visit.
Oh, you're
I've
always
got a
good.
question. Everybody. Mr. Dixon, I have a question. Having your own business, at the end of the day, who's responsible for the money you make, but also for the expenses you have to pay out?
Well, we are. My wife and I, because as I mentioned about being the janitor, you have to take care of every area of your business, but you're responsible for the rent, you're responsible for the damage, the gas and electric, everything that you do that goes on there, you're responsible for it. So it can be very rewarding, but again, you have to be very, very careful about how you conduct yourself. We do have that's a very good question. This young man is very sharp. and it's one thing that we've had people that opened up near us over the years. And my wife is one of those people that, as soon as competition comes, she's worried. She's got to go over there and check them out. And my thing is, if you take care of everything that you're supposed to do in-house, you don't have to worry. That's very good. Yes.
Are you supposed to have a license to run?
You absolutely do. You need a license with the state to sell stuff with the state. But also you need a food license where they come in and inspect your store to make sure everything is clean. Well, ice cream trucks are different. They have some type of license for that, but it's a little bit different than when you have a store. But because when you have a store, especially when you're handling food, you have to have an inspection every year. Oh, very similar. Yeah. You have to, because they want to make sure everything is clean. And that goes from the front of your store to the back where you keep all your inventory. That's exactly right. Well,
Yes, Diva.
fancy outfits. I tell you, that's very good because what we do, we buy shirts for the kids that work for us, and excuse me, yeah, we hire kids that
Relatively speaking.
yeah.
Hold on.
They started 15 to 17 because I think you have to have your working papers if you're under like 17, and you get them from your school. But that's a very good question. But going back to clothes that you wear, we have shirts like the polo shirts, and it has our emblem on the front of it. But most of the young ladies that work for us, they like to come in with their own clothes, and then we have aprons that they put on with the emblem on it also. See, you like that too? Yeah, yeah. But we mix up the color. The colors that you see on the card are the colors that we get. There's purple shirts. There's the pink apron that I think you would just love. There's also some green and blue also on a few items. But at the end of the year, they get to keep the shirt just to show that they work for us during the year. But they usually really have a good time, and it's not easy work. Yeah, they're young ladies and young men. They're 15 to 17 years old, and actually some of them, when they go to college and come back, they work for us during the summer. But some on holidays, yeah, they come. Oh yeah, we still work. We work July 4th, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Christmas we're not open. Yeah, because it's
Just said they're
winter.
closed.
Yeah. Yes.
Didn't go.
Well, see, the thing is, when we first opened, we tried to hire 1 or 2 people to work. But one thing that we found out really quick, that young people between 15 and 17 aren't available to work a lot of hours during the week. And also, there's certain laws in place where they can't work certain hours during school. So we hire 3 to 4 kids, and they work 10 to 12 hours a week. Yeah, they usually work about like from 6 to 9 o'clock at night.
What's hourly rate?
They do. And they come in with their friends.
That's never question is that.
Yes.
What's the hourly rate?
Hourly wage right now is $9 an hour. The minimum wage I think now is what, $8.25 or something like that, or maybe a little bit more. So we like to keep it just a little bit above that.
I'll follow with John.
Huh?
I'm gonna follow with him. Is that enough money? Oh, okay.
Well, it's nothing. Like,
Well, see, it's enough money for you if you want to buy, some personal things for yourself, go to the movies, some sneakers or something like that. But I think long term, I don't know, maybe you were alluding to that.
But no, I'm just asking kids. I want my first
Okay,
job.
oh, okay.
I made $375 an hour.
$375, yeah. See, now I grew up working for my father in the dry cleaners, so I think I made like about $1 an hour. So I never knew what I made. I just worked a lot, and he gave me what he wanted and said, "I take care of you at home." So this is it.
I didn't think salty.
Any other questions?
I do want
You want some more?
to tie in earlier we spoke about. Now, especially with Trent just spoke now, would you want somebody who's using drugs working for you?
It just doesn't tie in. It just doesn't, because we've had kids that I don't know if they were on drugs, but something just wasn't right. And it just didn't work out. You have to let them go. Because we've tried some kids that are 18, 19, 20, and whether it was just fooling around drinking or they just ended up being irresponsible. Because the drug use and drinking and abusing certain things, even if you don't get caught, it usually lends itself to irresponsibility. You can't depend on these people to come to work on time. When they come to work, there's usually a problem that comes up, they gotta leave. Certain things happen that lends itself to you not wanting to deal with that. And especially if you have your own business, you have to look out what's good for you. And larger companies, I think, can afford to put up with more than a smaller company. When you have a smaller company and the money is coming out of your pocket, when you see these people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you have to let them go. Any other questions? Well, if not, again, I just again want to thank you guys for tolerating me for this period of time, and I really appreciate it. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys again, having more information for you, and I hope you enjoy the little treat I brought for you today. All right?
All right,
Thank you.
Mr. Now we have the sticks to pull out, to wrap it up there, so. Kids don't like them, but I like them.
Now, see,
You don't know what the prize is though. It could be nothing, it could be something. Then you get an ice cream cake.
No, I don't think. Okay.
Everybody got their ticket?
Last three?
I think you only did the last three, right? All right, but now for those that have, you know who you are, you have it, you have something already, we're gonna treat that differently, to let you know. I see some people out lit up that already have something. So,
Okay, everybody ready?
Yeah.
I see people that never looked up here before, they're looking now. 177. Is it you for real? Oh, okay.
you got 177.
Tata had
Nobody? Somebody got 177.
What's your kids? 194. 194.
Nobody got 177? Who? But that means you get a ticket.
Okay, let's pull out a winner this time. Let's see what we got. 174.
Oh, nobody. Who's sitting by Joshua?
You got 174? Well, give us Mr. Dick and check it.
Oh, that's fruity.
Very good. Very good.
We start over. That's your sister ticket.
Alright, everybody stand for a second, right? Everybody stand for a second.
Yo, I want.
Even the grown kids in the back, stand for a second. I know you got grown, you want to stand up. Do me a favor. Don't be too grown too fast. Alright, stretch. Just stretch for a couple seconds. Put your hands up.
Hands up.
All you basketball, when people think you play basketball, how you shoot the free throws. I ain't like to think of play, but I gotta see it first. Alright. Everybody have a seat. Alright, everybody, we got the next speaker here. Some of you may remember, his name is Mr. Jermaine Jones. Mr. Jermaine Jones is the founder and CEO of an organization called Brothers Making a Difference. And making a difference is exactly what he does. Jermaine grew up in Irvington, New Jersey. Jermaine says as a child growing up in Irvington, New Jersey, that he struggled to find his purpose in life. This came to an end when he took the opportunity to work as a mentor with the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization, which he did for 13 years. This is the organization which paved the way for the concept of brothers making a difference. It gave him the opportunity to make an impact on someone's life other than his own. In his words, he describes his realization on what he was called to do as this. I felt as if I was the ancestor of these children. These children who thought that there were no way to escape, and as the ancestor, I was obligated to pave a smoother path for them. He goes on to say that the way for him to take his place as the catalyst was by becoming a mentor for the children who he felt needed help. So everybody calm down. Today, Brothers Making a Difference is becoming a well-known organization in the state of New Jersey as Jermaine and his peers continue to fulfill his vision by visiting schools and interacting with the students. Jermaine continues to inspire the youth with his upbeat personality and genuine will to make a positive impact and change the lives of people. Sometimes we all just need inspiration, says Jermaine. Brothers Making a Difference to truly provide the inspiration. So everybody, you might remember Jamon Jones from last year spoke. He's actually from this area, so he's familiar with some of the streets around here. I guess the good and the bad of the streets around here he's familiar with. But I will say, me and Mr. Jones have coordinated a lot of events the last couple of years since we met, career days, other functions. You know, he came here to feed people a couple of times, right? He does it at other places. We also did it at the Salvation Army. So, and I will say this, I tried to organize this thing, and believe me, it sounds easy, but it's very hard. Everybody you call out, they're busy. Well, I'm busy too. I'm out chasing people and calling people trying to coordinate everything. Everybody, I'm busy. I got somewhere to go. I'm flying overseas. I'm flying in. But Mr. Jones got called late, and guess what? He canceled the schedule to make time to come in today. And most people won't do that. And Mr. Dixon did also. He canceled the schedule to come in today. So show your appreciation for him. We have Mr. Jermaine Jones from Brothers Making a Difference.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Truly, it's an honor to be here today. And here's what I will tell you. My time is valuable. Hello, because I'm going to start calling you out. If I call you out, I'm going to ask you to just come up here because I'm not going to talk while you're talking. So let's be clear. Nobody